they shall grow not old, as we are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we will remember them. G'day guys, welcome to a special day today in Australia and New Zealand for those who might not be familiar with what goes on around on the 25th of April. It's ANZACS Day, and so today we basically give this day to all service men and women of the Australian and New Zealand Defence Forces in their sacrifice. And this doesn't just go out to the veterans, it also goes out to the current service men and women of those defence forces. And it's a special day to just give thanks for their sacrifice, because war is something that no one wants to be a part of. No one wants to be a part of. It's a very sad and depressing situation when one is actually having to be forced into it sometimes. But today we'll be looking at the classic traditional game between Essendon and Collingwood. These two teams always play on the 25th of April, and this one's going to be very interesting. Very interesting indeed, actually. It's hard to pick a winner in this one. It really is. I say this is truly a 50-50 game. Both sides struggling at the moment. 10th, 13th place on the ladder, and that's about right for them. Very even disposal averages, 406 to 407. In fact, Collingwood wins every stat here, but on average it's 406 to 407 disposals. Clearances 36 to 40. Collingwood actually dominate the average inside 50s, 48 to 56. Contested possession also 156 to 146. 66 tackles to 73. Hit outs 38 to 46. So there's quite interesting, quite a lot of interesting stats there. But I'm not feeling like Collingwood's got what it takes to beat the Bombers. I think the Bombers haven't looked too sharp in the last 2 weeks. Or has it been? 2 weeks. This is neither Collingwood hasn't even performed to probably the required standard of a decent side. In fact, last week, I'm just trying to remember last week. Yeah, that's right. They lost to the Saints, which was rightfully so. But MCG, I feel like it is wet, so Essendon don't play wet footy too well. But I haven't seen Collingwood play wet footy for a very long time, so it will be quite interesting to see how both sides actually, deal with the conditions. I think Essendon have learnt from their Carlton humiliation about wet weather football, and I think they're going to correct it today, that's for sure. And there's just been a few ins and outs. Obviously, with McKenna being suspended, I believe Francis comes in to replace him. Langford was omitted, and McNeese will come into the side. So big congratulations to the bloke playing. He's new to the side, so he should be very interesting. Daniel Wells also comes into the side for Collingwood. I wasn't actually expecting that. Also, Cox and Phillips also come in, while White, Smith and Blair all are omitted. So they didn't really have good games last week, that's for sure. This is it's been 12 years since the first Anzac Day clash, and that ended in a draw. Which was very interesting, and I think this one is quite capable of ending in a draw itself. But at the moment, having to pick one side, I'm actually going to stick with Essendon by 10 points in a thriller. Yeah, it's just hasn't been. Collingwood just hasn't looked like a team that can get the job done, can finish out games. They just can't finish out games. They've always been fading out, and they're just, they seem to be running out of steam towards the later part of the game. But yeah, when it comes to disposal efficiency, guys, it's average so it's even for both sides on average at 72 apiece. The average inside 50s. 54, Essendon to 48. So, but again, it's wet weather football, and I can assure you that Essendon might be able to convert a goal when the ball's inside 50, but when it's wet weather, they kind of turn it over in the midfield. They did that last time, that's for sure. Unfortunately for them. Intercepts, Bombers win that 77 to 72. Turnovers, Bombers also win that 78 to 77 on average. So. I want to dissect the clearances. I'm always interested in dissecting clearances. So, centre clearances are with the Bombers 14 to 13, but Pies easily win the stoppage clearance average 27 to 22. So, it's going to be interesting in that department if the ball's slipping out of bounds. But yeah, those centre clearances are definitely ones that will hurt you. That's for sure. But yeah, that's going to be very interesting. I'm interested in inside 50 counts. I don't have it here. No, it's some of them. Anyway, so I'm just feeling like Essendon's got a bit more experience and a bit more polish with the side they're presenting on the field. They do have a couple of youngsters, but I'm just feeling like they're more than capable of winning this game. But yeah, again, I won't stretch it out, I won't be biased. I hate Collingwood a lot, but it is a 50-50 ball game. It's anybody's game. It's who can play the best football on the day, and really that's what's going to come down to in the end. Looking at the lineups, we'll start in the defence for the Essendon Football Club, and we've got Ambrose, Hurley, and Goddard. Halfback in Bagley, Brown, Merritt, centres in McGrath, Watson, Parrish, followers in Leuenberger, Zaharakis and Heppel, half forwards in Fantasia, Hooker, Collier, McDonald, Tibblewoody, Danaher and McNeese make up the forward line. Interchanges in Stanton, Francis and Green and Kelly, and emergencies in Stewart, Bird and Hocking. Straight to the Collingwood lineup. We start in the defence with House, Skade, Goldsack, halfback in Ramsey, Reid, Maynard, centres inside bottom Pendlebury and Wells, followers in Grundy, Treloar and Adams. And we go to the half forward line with Varco, Moore and Hosking. Elliott. He's done pretty well last year. It was actually pretty good last week. I am not I haven't had a coffee yet. I've been up and about very early. So I think it was about 3:30. So yeah. In the forward line, guys, we've got Fasolo, Cox, and Elliott. In interchange, Greenwood, Phillips, Crisp, and Broomhead. And in emergencies, we've got Dacos, Smith, and Scarenberg. So yeah, no, that's going to be it's going to be interesting who can play the best wet weather football. But yeah, I feel like Essendon's probably. I'm hoping Essendon's learnt their lesson. In fact, yeah, I'm hoping Essendon's learnt their lesson. You can't really add tools to a side. Tall players just don't perform too well. Like, yes, you probably obviously need one or two for the ruck, but that's really about it, because the ball's generally always going to go down onto the ground and it's just going to become a absolute mess. And it's going to be those small forward pockets that will be doing the real damage in these conditions. But yes, Essendon by 10 points for me. And yeah, good luck to both sides. Good luck to you guys. Hope your team wins. And remember, footy is one thing, but Anzac Day is more important than just football. It's always and will always be about the servicemen and women, from the veterans, from those that have been fighting for our country and our freedom, to those that are serving currently. They're overseas, and they're in Afghanistan still. They're doing what's in the best interest of our society here in Australia, and our society, and also the New Zealand people, for our freedom. And it's very selfish. It's a very selfish attitude in the way they go about it, and it's not that good pay. It's honestly, and a lot of people don't realise that, it's not good pay, but yeah, they do it anyway. So, it's give thanks to those guys, because in the end of the day, the blokes running on a footy pitch aren't real heroes. It's those men and women who are risking their lives, their futures, and their abilities to achieve their own goals, just so we can enjoy a freedom and democracy and a bright future. So that's it from me here at AFL Legends Unite, guys. And you all take care, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video.